a lot of hosts on Turo are not having a good week. That's because some people woke up to one of these emails from Turo pretty much saying that they permanently delisted one or more of your vehicles due to not meeting their criteria or not following their guidelines. So kind of vague, but it didn't happen to your boy personally. I've been doing this for years, never had a vehicle permanently delisted. Now, I'm not talking about the regular delisting when something happens, like a maintenance issue or the customer complains about something, and then you got to get an inspection report and get it back listed. I'm not talking about one of those scenarios. I'm talking about permanently delisting. Doesn't matter what you do, it's not coming back on the platform. But at first, I was thinking maybe they're delisting older vehicles, but I'm seeing 2019s get delisted, and I myself have a few 2014s still on the platform, had them on for years. And then I was thinking maybe it's a mileage issue, but I have vehicles that are on there 160, 150 that are grandfathered in. Then I thought, well, maybe it's a rating issue, but I have vehicles that are not all 5-star ratings. Now, let's say I'm a host and I have a vehicle specifically for Turo and the vehicle gets permanently unlisted. Well, the first thing I'm gonna try to do is dump this vehicle on the market. Now, let's say you're somebody who's on the market shopping for a vehicle and you come across this great listing, great price, and you want to jump on it to put it on your fleet. Well, that's not going to work, because when the vehicle gets permanently delisted, that means nobody can't list the vehicle again. Before I purchase a car for Turo, I always create the listing as if I already own the vehicle. Now, back in previous videos, I used to say go to NHTSA and check for recalls, but now there's a lot of other reasons that Turo could not allow a vehicle besides recall. So this is a perfect example now. Hosts getting vehicles permanently delisted. Even if the vehicle is not permanently delisted, if the vehicle has a branded title, salvage, rebuild, if it's a flood damage. I've even had one time the vehicle was a manufacturer buyback and I couldn't list the car on there. So now, like I said, create the listing as if you already own the vehicle, put in whatever number for tags, just put in a random description. Obviously, if it goes through and you get to the end and Turo tells you this vehicle is now listed, you know you are good, A1, then you can snooze the listing or cancel it if you don't end up buying the car. But at least run it through first, create the listing just to make sure you can actually use this vehicle, because I guarantee you there's people out there who are going to get caught up by this. They're going to see a great deal because somebody's trying to dump a vehicle to get it replaced. They're going to buy it and now they can't list it either. So just be very careful of that. But really though, these hosts that are getting vehicles delisted, it's probably because of one of these two reasons. Check engine lights. It's not a good idea to let your car go out with check engine lights on. Obviously, check engine light means something going on with the vehicle, it needs to get checked out. But the biggest one that a lot of people overlook is that tire pressure monitor light. That's why it's great to always have one of these air compressors. I got it somewhere around here. You could plug it into a cigarette lighter, put some air in the tire, and make sure that the tire pressure monitor light goes off. But let's go back to the engine light, because did you guys know that not every car has a traditional engine symbol? Some vehicles like these Infinities actually have a service engine soon. So that's the same as a check engine light. And while we're on the topic of check engine lights, let me mention that one time I had an issue because I took pictures of the dash. The door was open. Some of these cars use a little caution light when the door is open. So one of the reps who didn't know what they were doing, mistaking that for a maintenance issue with the vehicle. So now, being somebody who learns from previous mistakes, whenever I check any of these cars in, or how I teach my guys how to do it, is to make sure all the doors are closed when you're inside the vehicle. So you get that dashboard picture with no lights on the dash whatsoever. So these hosts that are getting permanently delisted, they probably either riding out multiple times continuously with the check engine light or tire pressure monitor light on, and getting delisted is the least of your problems, because you could actually get a claim denied if something serious was about to happen. And it's always a great idea to purchase a OBD2 scanner so you can actually see what the check engine light is on for, because I'm not gonna lie, a few codes out there do not need to be serviced and do not need to be checked. But if you're not doing your due diligence and you're not trying to learn about these codes, you're not even trying to get a code reader, then you're gonna fall victim to a lot of shops that are gonna tax you. And let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So let's say a guest goes to put gas in the vehicle and they don't turn the car off and they just put gas with the car running. That could cause a small evap leak code to trigger the check engine light. Or let's just say the gas cap is damaged. These caps last for about 10 years, sometimes 15 years, but they always gotta get changed. So if the engine light is on for a small leak code, the first thing you want to do is inspect the gas cap. If it's brittle on the rubber parts or broken on the rubber part, then the gas cap needs to be changed. But if the cap is fairly new and it looks good, then just make sure it's back on tight, and you can actually clear this engine light yourself. And once you put some miles on it, if the light comes back on, then that means maybe you really do have a small leak somewhere in your system. But if it stays off, then you're good. There's a lot of times where that code is just for a gas cap. And like I said, if you take it to a shop, especially if you're not cool with the shop, they're gonna tax you to inspect it. They're gonna tax you. They might even tell you they changed something else, which they didn't even change. Now, I'm not telling you guys to just be clearing every engine light, but when you scan it with the OBD2 and it gives you a code, a number on the code, at least go plug it into Google and see what it is. If it's anything like I just described, like a gas cap issue or something that could have been triggered by what the guest did but doesn't necessarily need to be changed, then you could reset it and put some miles on it and try that out. I'm just saying, don't be taking it to the shop for every little thing unless you're cool with somebody like myself who got a shop and I'll take care of you. But another important thing that can cause real damage if it's bad enough are tires. Tires can wear on the inside, especially if the car is not properly aligned. So if you're just inspecting the outside of the tires, then you might not notice that it's threading on the inside. A lot of hosts make this mistake. The cars are riding on the street, they think it's good, but actually the car needs an alignment or the tire is gonna keep wearing unevenly. And something else, if the guest hits a curb or damages the rim, and sometimes there's like a gash in the tire, like this one right here. Now, the gash in the tire, that's a tough one because I'm an all-star host, I'm a power host, so I get up to $250 reimbursement anytime something happens to my tire, and I also get a similar amount for windshield cracks. But if you're not an all-star host, you're not a power host, then most likely your deductible is going to be higher than the cost to replace a tire, so you're most likely going to have to eat that up. Like I said, if it's small like this one right here, this is probably the max that I'll let rock out. But if it's anything bigger than this, I mean, you're just going to have to eat that cost up. Don't get expensive tires. I go to a wholesale tire spot. I pay $50, $60 for these tires, $80 on the high end. So if I have to replace a tire that could cause something not going wrong, then that's what I'll do. Because at the end of the day, if your tire is really bad or there's chunks missing, it's threading on the inside, and the guest is taking a picture of those things, if anything happens on the trip, they could try to blame that on the tire, and you could possibly get your claim denied. What I will say is a lot of times you could reach out to the guest, especially if they admitted to the damage, and sometimes you could just work it out and settle it with the guest so you don't have to file a claim. But unless you're on the 60 plan where you don't have any deductible, even if you're on the 75 plan like I am, there's a $250 deductible. So most cases, most tires, you can get it replaced less than $250, so you're gonna be eating that up yourself. All right, so let me run you guys through a quick scenario. Customers driving the vehicle, the engine light comes on, or whatever light comes on. Most likely the first thing they're gonna do is contact you, the host, or send you a message. So this is how it usually plays out for me. Hey, your engine light just came on, just want to let you know. What I usually ask them is the car driving any different? If they say no, my next question, do you feel comfortable finishing out your trip with the vehicle? And then I can check it out once it gets back. 99% of the times, if the vehicle is still running the same, they're gonna say, nah, I'm good with that. I just want to let you know, because guests don't want to be blamed for things going on with the vehicle. Because yes, believe it or not, there's hosts out here blaming guests for check engine lights, even though it's a maintenance issue that can't possibly be triggered by something the guests did. They're gonna blame the guest. People just have a blaming mentality sometimes. So the guest is just trying to cover their, so yeah, I understand that. So a lot of times they could even be resolved by good customer service, communication, or worst case scenario, I could do the vehicle swap. I could let them know, okay, no problem, I have this vehicle for you, let me put you in this. And 80-90% of the times, Turo never even finds out about the incident. It comes back to the shop, we take care of it, we inspect it, do what we gotta do, and goes right back out. So a lot of times, when the guest makes it to the point where they're gonna report you to Turo or complain to Turo, is because you're not handling it in a professional way, you're not responding to them, you're not communicating. So then they go to the only people, the person they know that will, which is Turo themselves. Which, if you get enough of these reports against one vehicle, maybe if it's like 2 or 3 times the same issue, maybe that's what's causing this permanent deleting or banning. So I just wanted to throw that out there. A lot of times you can avoid it by good communication and good customer service. So I hope you guys watching this weren't one of the ones that got your vehicles delisted. If you were, I'm interested to know exactly what you think it was, so drop that down in the comments and I'll pin it so everybody else can get some value out of this. And for those of us that are still running professional businesses, taking care of the customers, and this did not affect us, then I guess this in another way is just clearing the way out and declustering the platform that's too saturated like some of you guys are claiming. So what I would say is just continue running your business in a professional manner, continue maintaining your vehicle, don't do no shady tree stuff by sending out the car with maintenance issues, check your tires properly, just make sure the vehicle is safe for the guests, and I think you'll be okay. And of course, if you're trying to excel in your business, follow this channel, subscribe, notification, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys for tuning in once more, and I'm gonna make sure to catch you guys real soon. I know I haven't been posting recently, but we're looking to turn that around. All right, see you guys real soon. Oh wait, I bet y'all thought this car got delisted right here, right? Nah, man, this one is down for a damage claim. I had my bodyguard working on it, but I guess Turo want to come pick it up to check it out. They think the damage might be total loss status, and I think this plays a role in that. You can see right there the interior, the steering wheel, that side part right there. I get a close-up shot. Is a little damage. We already started doing some work to it, so I need to make a video on not working on your car or not getting your car worked on before the claim comes through, because you never know, they might try to total it out. But nah, this vehicle's still good. We still rocking out with it. Been with me for a few years now, so we're gonna keep it that way. All right, till next time.